All right. Wow, someone was already on there.
In your stream?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Hey, what's up, Kevin? Kevin's always first. Always first. You got to love his enthusiasm. Love his
Kevin got
enthusiasm.
those notifications on lock.
Mm-hmm. On lock. How you doing, Kevin? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Boom. Hey, Vince, what's up, man? Saw you were in early, too. Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. Let's wait for a few more people here. You know, maybe in retrospect, we do put a slate up. In retrospect. Next week. Next week. All right, let's make sure we're good. How'd you do in your leagues, by the way, Derek?
I won one, and then I lost in the supporter league, which that's fine.
Ooh.
But I won one, but I don't know about this week.
Yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty already in week
Cooper's
2.
Out. I gotta decide between Dak and Brock Purdy to start.
Yeah, the Amari Cooper one kind of popped up late. So, all right, everyone, let's get started. Hey, what's up? It's me. It's your boy CLE. It's not another fantasy show because, like I said, seemingly everyone in 2023 either has a podcast or has a fantasy show. We got a lot to get to. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to go through some lineup decisions. Derek, I went 1-1 last week in my 2 leagues. You went 1-1, correct?
Yeah. Yep. So, it's an okay start.
Okay. All right. Look, I'm gonna need you to pump the energy up. Okay. Come on. Let's go.
Okay start.
It's week
okay
2.
Start.
It's week 2. We're here. Let's get going. Everyone in the chat, good morning. Let's get a win and let's get started. Here we go. Okay. How about that? That's pretty nice. That was my son. My son did that. He came to my house, put a little 15-second little montage together. So shout out to my son for doing that. Yeah, so here we go. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Good morning to you. I hope you guys are doing great. Jody, good to see you, man. Thanks for being a sub. You too, Kenneth. Morning, Slick. And Vince, how's everything going? Vince says Derek better be predicting 300 yards and 5 touchdowns for Nick Chubb against the lowly Steelers. Hey, I mean, he's good, but he ain't that good, right?
Yeah, we'll see. It's not till Monday night, so I got to get through today.
That's right.
Get through today.
Morning, Nick. Good to see you. All right, so this is how it works. We're going to go through a couple things, and we'll try to answer your questions as best as possible. If you've got some interesting takes or if you've got a sleeper that you'd like to share with the room and share with the group, feel free because you guys are definitely knowledgeable as well in your own right. So, Derek, first of all, listen, the storylines for today, you got Jerry Jeudy making his season debut. You've got injuries popping up left and right. Amari Cooper, your boy, popped up late in the injury report. You got Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, some of the most added players this week in week 2. And then the Ravens backfield. J.K. Dobbins goes down early in week 1.
That's tough.
Yeah. So, I mean, what kind of has your interest peaked? What are you grappling with here in before week 2?
I mean, mine is Amari Cooper. I have him on the team.
Yeah.
And I can't start him since it's a Monday night game. You can't risk it because you can't risk not getting any points there. So
Yeah.
I got to put somebody in. Receivers are weak for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much Ayuk and Cooper. So
Yeah.
I gotta figure it out. I got Traylon Burks and I got Romeo Dobbs.
Mm-hmm. I got those 2 dudes.
Yeah, I got some decisions to make today.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully we can help you with your decisions. Also, good job, Jody. Excellent point. Austin Eckler is also out. So Joshua Kelly definitely becomes a must start if you have him. If you were lucky enough to handcuff him, or maybe you're lucky enough to pick him up on the waiver wire. But Derek, let's go through some of the players that kind of stock up, stock down. I'll give you a pair. You're going to give me two players. For me, Zay Flowers, stock way up for the Baltimore Ravens. You know, I knew he was going to be good. I knew that the offense was going to be electric and changing with Todd Monken as the. We got to get some primetime music going, by the way. Maybe that'll pump up the energy a little bit. For some reason, Derek, he's still available as of Thursday afternoon. He was available in 24% of Yahoo leagues. That number, I mean, he is a must-add. He's got to be owned in every league. Stock down, your boy Deshaun Watson. I know that the conditions were not optimal last week against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are obviously a good team. He did have 45 yards rushing. But, Derek, there were a couple of passes that he threw where I was like, he's trolling us, right? He's trolling us, right?
He was short-arming a lot.
Yeah, so this is now a good sample size where I'm starting to get concerned, for Deshaun Watson. I did pick up Anthony Richardson, and we'll talk more about him a little bit later. I'm of the mindset I've got a decision to make. I'm probably going to start Anthony Richardson instead of Deshaun Watson on Monday night.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, as far as fantasy is concerned, I have him in my other league. I mean, he got me 20 points, so it's not like it was a
true.
It was a terrible fantasy performance. The thing that's nice about Deshaun with fantasy, at least, is that he does have that capability to make plays with his legs.
Yep.
So it's one of those things where you can always, if he's not throwing it great like he wasn't in week one, he's still got points with what you said, 40 plus rushing yards and a touchdown. So it's one of those things where we got to kind of wait and see. The Steelers always play Cleveland tough. Obviously, it's a rivalry game, division rivalry game. So we'll see. But Anthony Richardson, he looks like he's having some fun out there in week one. He looks like he had some fun out there, and I have him as a backup as well.
Yeah. All right, what about your players? Stock up and stock down here.
Oh, man. All righty. Do we have a graphic?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Look how
I wanted to make sure that
is.
I got a cool graphic too, Chad.
Yeah, there you go.
So stock up is Brock Purdy.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, this is going to be big. This is one of those if maybe some of us need a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers was going to be my like kind of back and forth quarterback with Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Don't have that option now.
No.
Unfortunately. So Brock Purdy I was able to pick him up. I'm sure some other people were trying to do the same thing, but great game again. Another 2-touchdown game. Again, this guy, I feel like this guy always throws for at least 2 touchdowns. So it's one of those things where him and Ayuk have a good chemistry.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's Debo there. You've got CMC, which takes some pressure off of him. So honestly, at this point, I'm turning into a Purdy believer right now. Cam Akers
Here
on
we
the
go.
other side of that. This is going to be I don't know why I've been doing this the last 2 years now, and I apologize to everybody.
Yeah.
But I don't know what is going on with that. He played like 35% of the snaps last week. 35% of the snaps last week.
Mm-hmm.
Kyren Williams got a lot of the work. Kyren Williams is the one that had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
They were saying throughout the entire training camp, everybody was predicting it's going to be Cam's time. He was taking all the first team stuff. He wasn't playing in the preseason games when the starters weren't. So it just made sense that it was going to be him. And then, we get to week one and we find out that it's not. So we will see what happens with that. We got to continue to monitor that. That could still be a situation where he could be a guy that you don't get rid of. You just kind of wait and see. Almost like last year. He wasn't good last year at all as far as playing time or fantasy until the last 6-7 weeks of the season. And then he just went absolutely crazy, and he won me one. So I got to keep the faith for now. But as far as stock watch is concerned, it is way down.
Yeah, I'm out of the Cam Akers business. If I have any shares of him, I'm really, really concerned. Obviously, Kyren Williams was a heavily added player throughout the week. Now they do have a difficult matchup The Rams do upcoming today against the San Francisco 49ers. So we're going to talk about we'll talk about Kyron Williams a little bit. Obviously, talk about Puka Nacua as well. He's one of those players that popped up on the injury report late in the week. Okay, Kenneth, that's a very good question. Stand by. We'll get to your questions in just a second. That's a really good question, Kenneth. Okay, let's talk about some players to watch for. We don't call it players to watch for. We call it players to the number 2 watch for. Actually, I just made that up because there was a graphic mistake, but we have no way to change it. So we're going to go with players to watch for. I'll give you a couple that should be. I don't know if maybe you don't add them this week, but definitely some ads or players that you should consider for future weeks, maybe some bye weeks as well. I'm going to give you Rachaad White of the Tampa Bay Bucks. The downside is, Derek, he's not breaking tackles. He did not show that ability last year. He did not break a lot of tackles, if any, last week. However, he did have elite usage for the Tampa Bay Bucks in their game in week 1. A clear 3-down back, which is what you want. Taking on the Chicago Bears, who did give up 127 yards to Aaron Jones last week. I'm not saying Rachaad White is Aaron Jones, but if you want a guy, maybe an RB2, maybe in a flex position, you want a guy that's going to be on the field a lot and getting a lot of that snap share as well as the route participation, Rachaad White could be the other one. And then maybe a deeper cut, someone to consider down the road, the rookie Roschon Johnson, same game, Bucks and Bears this week. He's rostered in only about 30% of leagues, 5.8 yards per carry last week, 4th-round pick out of Texas, had a 46% share among running back targets. So I think that if you're looking for help in the running back department, maybe Roschon Johnson, rookie out of Texas, is a guy that we keep an eye on for the weeks ahead. So
crazy as that graphic worked out beautifully. You had red on the left and orange on the right, and it was Bucks and Bears.
Hey,
that worked out gorgeous.
I can't take credit for that. That's all my man Louie. So, hey Philip, what's up, man? Thanks for being a sub. How you doing? Hey Killa, what's up, man? All right, Derek, what about your players too? You don't have players. My bad. Stand by.
I don't have a graphic,
Stand by.
But
Here we go.
Say Joshua Kelly. Probably Joshua Kelly.
Joshua Kelly. Yep.
I think that he's probably going to be one of the guys that could have a pretty big fantasy impact for some people this week.
Yeah.
The other one I'm going to say again is Brock Purdy. I'm high on him right now, especially with the quarterback situation going on. I mean, Burrow didn't play great, which I think that gets fixed, but there's a lot of quarterbacks. We didn't get to see what Dak could do because the defense just did literally everything against the Giants. I mean, there's a lot of question marks still as far as what are some of these quarterbacks going to produce this year. So I think that Brock Purdy is a good pickup. I'm high on him.
All right. Hey, what's up, Buzzboy? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining the chat for the first time. Well, how you doing? Bodacious Buddha, what's up? How you doing, man? Good to see you. We got your viewer questions coming up in just a second. All right, Derek, everyone knows we're not infallible. I mean, we both watch a ton of football, read a lot of material, but hey, you can't be perfect, right? So let's give you some hits and misses that we had in last week, okay? So I'm going to go first here. Mine, I had Anthony Richardson. That's a hit. I talked about his usage last week. 45 passing attempts. That is way more than I thought I was going to see out of him. They did lose against the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I think for me, Anthony Richardson is hovering around the must-start quarterback territory if you have him. Like I said, I do have him. I'm starting him instead of Deshaun Watson this week. The Colts are taking on the Texans. Texans defense is, they're good in the secondary, but man, they are bad up front and they can't stop the run. And Anthony Richardson had 47 yards rushing last week. My miss, Jahan Dotson, Derek, his numbers weren't terrible. 4 catches, 61 yards. He did lead all receivers for the Commanders with 7 targets against Arizona. I just thought that he was going to be better than he was in week 1 against the Arizona Cardinals. Now, they do take on the Denver Broncos. this could be a bounce back game for Jahan Dotson because Patrick Surtain figures to be shadowing scary Terry McLaurin. So maybe that opens up some opportunities for Jahan Dotson. So if you have Jahan Dotson in your lineup, feel pretty good. Maybe you want to roll the dice in a daily fantasy play. So.
Yeah, I don't think he did terrible. Like I said, 4 for 61. That's still in a PPR league. That's still getting you 10 points.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, not terrible. I just had such lofty expectations. I was really high on the Commanders' offense, and it was a little bit underwhelming for me. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you got? Who did you like? Who did you hit on? And then who did you miss on?
Man, I feel bad. Because I told somebody also in one of their questions about to take somebody, and I think Jordan Addison went off. But my first one is Jacoby Myers. That was a fan question.
Yep.
It was between him and somebody else. I forget who the other person was, but I said Myers for sure, and then we had somebody else ask it later, and I stayed with the same thing, Jacoby Myers. And you see what happens. This is what I think is going to happen. Is I think he's going to have a chance to really have a decent year this year because playing behind Devontae Adams, it's one of those things where he's going to get a lot of the open looks that Adams provides by getting bracket coverage, two-man coverage, all of that. So that was a big hit. I think he's out this week, but as far as just a hit from last week, that was a big hit. And then Amari Cooper, and this isn't necessarily even his fault. Deshaun missed him 3 separate times.
Yeah.
One for a touchdown, one for a big first down gains, and then even the one of the catches he had, Deshaun threw behind him, and he hurt his groin, and I don't know. So I don't know if it's necessary. I don't think it's Amari. I think it's if Deshaun's actually able to get the football to people here this week and going forward. So we're gonna see, but yeah, that one was unfortunately, and I feel bad because I told somebody to start him too. I started him. He had looks. Quarterback didn't get it to him. Sometimes those are the ways.
Now he did have have an injury pop up on the injury report late this week, and as you detailed, they're obviously playing Monday night. They're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. B. Ryder correctly pointing out that they have struggled in Pittsburgh in the regular season. So I think it bears watching. I know you have Amari Cooper. If you had, let's say let me throw a couple. Okay, give me the 2 receivers give me a couple of receivers that you're choosing from, and then I'll ask, would you consider adding or starting Donovan Peoples-Jones?
I like that, and I've actually been thinking about it. The other guys that I have are Treylon Burks and then Romeo Doubs. Now, I like Romeo.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that they're playing Atlanta, and I'm almost certain A.J. Terrell is going to be on him for the most of the game. So I don't know if I want to start Dobbs this week just because of that matchup. It's just not a very good matchup. And then we all know how bad Tennessee's pass offense is. So that's the problem. I took Burks as kind of this late fill-in guy.
Yeah, me too.
Just because you've got Hopkins there. So again, kind of just the same thing as Myers.
Okay.
In Las Vegas, I'm thinking, hey, maybe Treylon Burks is going to be able to get some of these open looks and translate them. I'm going with Treylon Burks.
Okay.
Just for the simple fact that the Chargers do not have a very good secondary.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that game last week with Miami in them. So, again, Miami's a little bit of a different beast with Tyreek. And
it just seems like the Chargers are involved in shootouts, which is
really
great for
are.
fantasy. I couldn't imagine being a fan for that team. I have enough frustrating teams in my life. I couldn't imagine being the Chargers fan. But Derek, I'm glad that you mentioned Treylon Burks because I want to go back. Let's take in some questions from the chat. We had Kenneth here, longtime watcher, great sub. His question was dealing with DeAndre Hopkins. Hopkins is going to play for the Titans, and Kenneth's question is, does he start Smith and Jigba over D-Hop? Now, DeAndre Hopkins did not practice at all this week, but he is playing for the Titans in week 2. Which direction are you leaning here, knowing that Hopkins may be a little physically compromised?
It's tough. It's tough because JSN is in Seattle.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things where they have DK, they have Lockett. I mean, they have stuff set up already. I think JSN's going to be an amazing receiver. I think he's just going to be slowly asked to do more as the season goes on. So
Yeah.
I don't know if he's the pick right now, even though I don't know if he's the pick
I
right
think
now.
I would
I don't
still
know if I can
go
go with that. I think I'm
Yeah.
going to go with Hopkins. He's the number 1 still too. So at the end of the day, you're playing the Chargers that we just talked
Yeah.
about. They don't have a great secondary. I think you just go with the number 1 option for now.
Kenneth, if you have some other options on your bench or available to you, maybe on the waiver wire, I would try to go with maybe someone else instead of Jackson Smith in Jigba. But maybe you can have some options and come back and circle back with us and give us a couple of options. Here's a good one here. I think Vince asking, does Tyler Algier have a shot at repeating last week's performance? Or will we see even more of Bijan against the Packers? That's a great question, Vince, and there's a lot of layers to it. The first layer is Arthur Smith hates your fantasy team. Drake London, Kyle Pitts, who knows? Who knows when those dudes are going to get used? We did see a lot of Tyler Algier. He's clearly a handcuff for Bijan Robinson. And now he's approaching flex territory. But I think 2 things. 1, Bijan Robinson is a better player. And 2, Arthur Smith and how he uses his skill players are so mind-boggling sometimes. I don't know if you can accurately predict anything.
No, I think they've made it pretty clear. Algier is their running back. He's the guy that they're giving the ball between the tackles to get yards.
Well, then that seems
on
silly
first
because they
down.
used an 8th overall pick on Bijan Robinson.
Well, but it's not silly because Bijan, as we saw on that touchdown he had last week, he's going to be one. He's still going to run the ball. He's still getting touches.
Yeah.
But he's their third down. He's their receiving back. I mean, and that's kind of what I thought it was going to be anyways, because he's probably one of the best catching backs out of the backfield that the NFL has right now as a rookie even. So
would you start both? Would you start both if you had them?
I think both are viable.
Okay.
I think both are viable right now. It's
Good.
almost at that point where, not last year because they didn't have a great year, but the year before that, if everybody remembers, Chubb and Hunt were both viable starting options 2 years ago on the same team. And it's almost in that same territory where you've got Bijan that really is in that Kareem Hunt role right now. And then Algier, who is kind of the Nick Chubb running through the tackles type role. So they have, I feel like they have clear roles set for them. It just all depends how the game goes.
Right.
Because if the game is something where you can't run the ball, we're going to be seeing a lot of Mr. Robinson out there. So it's, it just all depends.
Okay, this one from James. Cam Akers or Justice Hill worried about Akers against the 49ers. Yeah, I mean, as you detailed it earlier, Derek, he was rather underwhelming in week 1. Lost a lot of carries to Kyron Williams. But that Ravens running back situation with no J.K. Dobbins, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I want to be a part of that.
I'd take Justice Hill if those are the 2 options. And the reason for that is solely because, 1, I don't think the Rams are going to be able to run today anyways. And 2, even if they are, if Cam gets 35% of the snaps again, I don't think they're going to have as easy time getting in the end zone as they did last week as far as running the ball is concerned.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you guys personally, I mean, I'm big on Cam Akers usually as far as I want him to be decent so I don't look terrible. But I don't have him starting this week. I actually have Tyler Algier starting this week.
Let's go to Captain Trips 420. Tyler Algier, who we just talked about, Jamal Williams, or Michael Pittman Jr. at the flex. I would rank them this way: Algier, Pittman, and Williams. What about you?
That's tough. I honestly see that those are the situations I want to never be in because I feel like they're all 3 in the same tier.
Yeah.
So it's really almost who just has the better matchup, and I'd have to look. Who do we have here? It's Williams, Algier. I mean, Atlanta's playing Green Bay. They don't stop the run very well.
Also, there's a good chance. There's a good chance that Aaron Jones doesn't play in that game. So
that is true too. I would probably go. I'd probably go Algier, Williams, Pittman.
Yeah. Christian Watson also out for another week. So that might help your Romeo Dobbs decision. Maybe that's a little bit easier. One less viable target for Jordan Love to throw to, not named
No,
Romeo.
I think that makes it clear to not start. AJ Terrell is amazing. I have very high respect for AJ Terrell, and I think he's going to be hawking him all game. So I am not. I think I'm gonna stick with Traylon Burks for now. I gotta look at some stuff, but
AJ Dillon clearly becomes a must start if you have him. I think. Obviously, can't do a lot of the things that Aaron Jones does, but he's going to get the bulk of the carries. Okay, let's go to Jeremy asking flex spot advice. Jerry Jeudy, who makes his season debut after injuring his hamstring in late August for the Denver Broncos. Jamal Williams or Kenneth Walker III. Oof.
See, now this one's easy for me. I think Jeudy. I'm a believer in the Russell Wilson Jerry Jeudy connection this year. I think that they both have. I think Russell has a way better year than he did last year, and the way that Jerry has talked about him, honestly, all of the receivers have talked about him. They all still really like Russ. So I've just got a feeling something's brewing over there. You got Peyton over there at head coach now, so. I think that he has a good week, and I would probably put him above anybody, especially. I mean, he's the clear number one when he's healthy. So.
Yeah, I'm going to go Kenneth Walker III there. I'm always one of those guys that whenever a guy has been out, I like to wait for that second week, just to make sure he can get through game action. But look, you're right. Potentially, that has a chance to be a really good combination. For Wilson and Jeudy and they're under their new head coach Sean Payton. So I think that I think I would go Walker there. Hey Rizal, how you doing, man? You didn't get a notification? Oh, well that's no good. Thanks for being a sub, man. Here's the question. Let's go with his question here. Joe Burrow against the Ravens or Fields against the Tampa Bay Bucks?
That's tough. Because the Bucks defense still looks pretty good after last week. I think Burrow. I think it's Burrow.
I think it's Burrow.
They play
too.
the
It's
Ravens
close,
pretty
though.
well. They play the Ravens really well usually. I think Burrow has some of his biggest games against them. So
yeah,
I think I got to go with Burrow on this one, just for the simple fact that I think he has a bounce back game.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's going to throw as badly as he did against Cleveland, which Cleveland is a different beast this year with Zadarius Smith and then Garrett on the outside, and then you've got the guys that play man and coverage. So they don't match up well against Cleveland usually, and I think this is going to be a good week for him.
Our buddy Jody with the question: Kendrick Bourne, excuse me, or Gus Edwards in the flex. He does have Austin Eckler, who is obviously out.
That's tough.
That is a tough one. I just the Ravens' backfield notoriously is difficult to navigate for fantasy players. I don't know, man.
No, it is. It is.
I think I would go. Wait, what's he choosing from? I think I might go Bourne here. Am I crazy?
It's just that Lamar is a touchdown vulture. He's a touchdown merchant. He takes everything in the red zone. So it's like you don't that's the problem with the Ravens running backs. Like J.K. Dobbins gets crazy good yards per carry when he was healthy. He was a really good running back for them, but it was always Lamar getting the touchdowns for the most part. So yeah, I mean I don't think Bourne is a bad option there because it's almost kind of like what you said a second ago. We kind of got to wait and see what it looks like, I think, this week with the Ravens running back situation before we make a decision on it.
Bourne last week, 6 catches, 11 targets, 64 yards, and, of course, the 2 touchdowns. They are at home. The Patriots are against the Miami Dolphins, who did, give up some points. So I think, Jody, I'm assuming it's PPR. I would go Bourne there. That's me. Brian Cato with the how you doing, man? Thanks for being a sub. DJ Moore or where did you go? DJ Moore or Samuel at the flex. Ooh, man.
Ooh. Dang. That's a tough one.
That is a tough one. That is a tough one.
Deebo Samuel, correct?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's Deebo. I would go Deebo there. Who was the? I'm already forgetting.
I think Ayuk is San Francisco's #1 receiver.
DJ Moore.
I think that's pretty clear with it. Him and Brock Purdy just have some sort of connection that is unbreakable at this point. So I think that Ayuk is the #1 receiver. Having said that, I think Deebo is always a safe play because he's used in so many different ways. He'll get you a couple rushing yards. He is looked at in the red zone a decent amount. So
yeah,
it's one of those things where I think Deebo is a safe play there. I would probably go Deebo.
I would go Deebo there as well, Brian, but that's a very good question, man. B. Ryder offering this. Joe Burrow in his last 3 games against Baltimore, passing yards, 217, 215, and 209.
Yeah, but I'm almost positive they were blowing them out in 2 of those games.
Yeah.
So those are a little skewed.
There you go, Goaty McGoat. Good use of the channel points. Philip asking, would you rather trust T. Higgins, who goose-egged me last week, or Terry McLaurin? T. Higgins is going to bounce back. Is he going to get 3 touchdowns and go off for $110? No, I don't. That's who's to say. I would be surprised, but he's definitely not going to goose egg again, and that'll probably be the last time all year that he doesn't produce for you. I mean, clearly he's not Jamar Chase, but he's definitely firmly entrenched as the #2 receiver. So they'll figure it out. I have no worries that T. Higgins and the rest of that Bengals offense will figure things out, right?
Yeah, I mean, just a different situation there. I will say this. We've got to keep remembering that T. Higgins is for sure the #2. Like, it's just the Jamar Chase show over there.
Yeah.
So there are just going to be weeks where that's the unfortunate thing is there's going to be weeks where no matter what happens, he's not going to be involved as much as fantasy owners are going to want him to. I had him last year in one of my leagues, and he's a great fill-in for me as far as I would usually have him in the flex for the most part of the season.
Yeah.
But as you know, I think we just have to keep that in mind with T. Higgins is that as far the talent is all there. It's just that the situation he's in right now, he's got to be a #1 somewhere else before he's really gonna, I think, shine. I would go T this week just because I think they're gonna bounce back, and I think the Ravens are gonna try to double team Jamar as much as they can. I'm worried about Scary Terry a little bit. It might be the Dotson show over there. Shortly.
Jahan Dotson definitely trending in a positive direction if you have him on your team. Here's a good one here from Captain Trips again with Amari Cooper out. And again, it's looking like he will not play. And to complicate matters, he plays on Monday night. So you have to make sure that you're covered. With Cooper out, who should I start at wide receiver 2? George Pickens? Is Pickens also dealing with an injury? Kendrick Bourne, Zay Jones, and he says Dobbs is available to pick up from waivers. Ooh, man.
B. Ryder, you've been stuck on something we answered 7 minutes ago, my man. Let's move on.
Do you want to take that? I mean, the Dobbs one is kind of interesting to me. You know,
I don't know. I like Zay Jones, but again, it's the situation where you just don't know how much he's going to get.
Yeah.
Because it's just such a big share. They've got Ingram and Kirk and all them. So
yeah, I mean, Calvin Ridley's the dude. Calvin Ridley's the dude there.
Pickens I don't start because he's probably not going to even play this week. I'd go Bourne probably just because again I don't like the Dobbs matchup. I think Terrell's on him all week.
I'm going to lean towards Romeo Dobbs. The fact that, darn it. You know what? Give me Zay Jones. Who are the Jags playing? They're playing the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, they're playing them at home, so maybe that has some shootout potential there. So yeah, give me Zay Jones there.
I like it. It.
We had a Garrett Wilson question. Here we go from Rizal Gaming. Thanks for being a sub, man. Michael Pittman or Garrett Wilson from the Jets? clearly Garrett Wilson and all other pass catchers and get a downgrade with Zach Wilson. With that being said, I would still start Garrett Wilson.
Yeah,
I would still start him. Yeah.
I'm in the same boat, 100%. I think you play Garrett Wilson. Even though they're playing the Cowboys, I think you just have to stick with Wilson right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he was probably drafted as your number 1 receiver or, a higher pick. So me and ROFLO have kind of stood by the fact that you kind of got to stick with the guys that you picked early, at least for the first couple of weeks, and see what happens.
Jody just picked up Gabe Davis. Now it's either Davis or Bourne in the flex. Man, Gabe Davis is available in your league?
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to look
Good
at
Lord.
How
can I get in that league? How can I get in that league? Yeah, I mean, look, if you got him, start him. I mean, especially if the choice is Bourne. If it's between Bourne and Davis, I'm starting Davis, right? I mean, that's pretty clear cut.
I think Gabe Davis is going to be. I mean, he's that guy that has like that boom or bust potential so crazy. He can have 3 touchdowns or nothing. So
yeah.
But I think Davis isn't a bad play there at all. I'm trying to see who's even available in my league. There's nothing like that, man. You guys are crazy.
I know, right? Jeremy, should he start? We have another Jerry Jeudy question. Jerry Jeudy or Michael Pittman at wide receiver 3?
Jerry Jeudy.
I'm gonna go Michael Pittman. I'm gonna go Pittman. It's kind of close. They're within. I think they're in the same neighborhood. But again, I like to try to minimize risk as much as possible. Hey, and real quick is Hall a viable start against the Cowboys? Yeah, I mean, I know that Cowboys defense is nasty, Derek, but I think we saw what we needed to see from Breece Hall, playing on turf on a wet track. He still showed explosiveness. He still showed that breakaway speed. He looked much better than I thought he was going to look first game off an ACL.
No, he looked great, and he actually might be huge in that game because with how much pressure the Cowboys bring, they're going to try to get that thing off quick, which means he might get a lot of work out of the backfield and on those quick catches and hope make a move, make somebody miss, and see what happens. So.
We've got one more here before we get to our picks here. This one from Buzzboy again. Mike Evans or Odell Beckham Jr.?
Oh, I'm going Mike Evans there for
sure.
Sure.
I'm going Mike Evans there as well.
Yeah.
I like Chris Godwin.
Have some faith in Baker, boys. God dang. Man.
I like Chris Godwin as well in that matchup for the Tampa Bay Bucks against the Chicago Bears. So that has some sneaky fantasy kind of highlight there. The over-under there is a little over 44 points.
It could be a really good game between those two teams.
Yeah. Okay, you want to do some picks? I don't even know how I did last week.
How did we do last week? We should go through that first and then get to our picks.
Do we want to do? I don't. You know what? We'll have to. We'll tally offline. How about that? We'll tally week 1 offline, but we'll get after it with week 2.
I have all of them pulled up right here.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
So you have our picks. How did we do?
No. I mean, I have all the games. You don't have that piece of paper on you?
You would think I would, but I don't.
All right, that's okay. We'll give you guys the updated rankings next week.
Okay. Let's sneak in one more here. Do you think? Let's see. Do you think DJ Moore has a better fantasy week today? I mean,
yeah, I would hope so. I mean, the Bears have to do something. Purdy or Baker? I'm going to take Purdy. I'm going to take Purdy. Baker's good, and he's going to have games where he'll have like nice numbers and stuff like that. But I mean, he's I don't really expect more than 200-something yards and 2 touchdowns if he has something like that. You know what I mean? So Purdy's got a chance to go 300 plus.
Okay, let's see. Let's go through the picks here. Week 2, we are here. Let's get it started. Packers Falcons. Packers are a 1.5-point road favorite. taking on the Atlanta Falcons. We talked about Christian Watson not being available.
Yep.
Who knows what the Falcons are going to do with Drake London and Kyle Pitts. They're not lineup locks for me. Over under 41.9 points per game or for this game. I'll go Packers here.
I'm gonna go Falcons. I'm gonna go Falcons.
All right. Let me make sure I'm writing these down this time. Actually, let me make sure I don't throw it away this time. All right, I went with Green Bay. You're going with the ATL. Raiders, Bills at home in Buffalo. The Bills are 7.5 point favorite at home. Remember, these picks are straight up here, so I'll go with the Bills.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bills too. The Raiders want to run the ball. The Bills have a very good front, so we'll see how that works.
Ravens, Bengals in Cincinnati. Bengals are 3.5 point favorites at home. What do you think?
I think the Bengals bounce back. I got them winning.
Okay. I'm gonna go with. I'll go with the Bengals. I'll go with the Bengals.
He wanted to go with the Ravens.
I know, I wanted to, but you know. Okay, Seahawks, Lions in Detroit. Detroit is a 4.5 point favorite. I'll go with Detroit.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Detroit too.
Chargers, Titans in Tennessee. Chargers are actually a road favorite, which is surprising. I don't trust the Chargers in pretty much any situation, but Titans got some real issues. I'll give me the Chargers. Go Chargers, go.
I picked the Titans last week and they lost by 1. They're gonna get me right this week. I'm gonna go with the Titans.
Oh, okay. Titans at home, a home dog. Bears, Bucks in Tampa. Tampa is a 2.5 point favorite. I'll take the. Are the Bucks going to start the season 2-0 with Baker Mayfield?
Oh, they are, sir. They are, sir.
All right, you're going Bucks.
Yes, you already know where
I'm going to go Bears, just to be different. I'm going to go Bears. Chiefs, Jaguars. This is tough. Jaguars at home, but Kansas City is favored by 3.5. Travis Kelce is back for the Chiefs. I can't see the Chiefs going 0-2. Give me Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat, but give me Jaguars.
Okay. Yep. You're right about that, Rizal. Once again, no Austin Eckler. You're absolutely right. You said you went with the Chiefs.
We're going with the Jags.
Oh, going with the Jags. Okay. Colts, Texans. Colts. You know what? This is going to be a big pillow fight here. Over under of 40. The line is even. C.J. Stroud might not. He popped up on the injury report late in the week with a shoulder injury.
A lot of late injuries this week.
They are without Laramie Tunsil, their tackle.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, their offensive line was bad to begin with. Now they're just injury riddled, so they're even worse. I'm gonna go with the Colts. I'm gonna go with the Colts.
Man, I can. If he didn't tell me all that, I was taking the Texans.
Yeah.
But that might be too much to overcome. That really might be too much to overcome. And again, the Texans can't stop the run. I think Anthony Richardson might have a field day today. So yeah, I'll go Colts.
49ers, Rams. Rams at home. They are a home dog. Niners favored by 7. I'll go with the 49ers here.
Yeah, I'm going with the Niners too. The Rams are going to want to. They want to run the ball, do short action, play actions type of stuff. It's just that's the 49ers wheelhouse as far as defense. So yeah.
And Puka Nacua, he had an injury that he was dealing with for most of the week, but he's going to play. No Austin Eckler for the Chargers as we.
Let me ask you guys this. Let me ask ROFLO this too, real quick. Tyler Higbee or Evan Ingram?
Tyler Higbee or Evan Ingram? I think I might go Higbee. Am I crazy?
Okay. I have Higbee starting right now, but it is against the Rams, and the Jags play the Chiefs, who don't have a great linebacker / secondary area. So
right.
I don't know.
It's close, man. It's real close.
I just thought of that while we were talking about these teams, but we can continue. I'm sorry.
No, that's a really good question. I mean, that's almost a coin flip right there. Okay, so after we both agree on the 49ers, Giants, Cardinals. Giants were blown out at home on Sunday night. I think they bounce back. They're favored by 4. I'll take the Giants over the Cardinals in Arizona.
Yeah, again, we've talked about this at the beginning of the year. The Cardinals might be historically bad, even though Dobbs looked decent last week. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I think the Giants bounce back, and I think they win that pretty easily.
Jets, no Aaron Rodgers, Zach Wilson. This is your team the rest of the way. They're in Arlington to take on the Cowboys. I think that Cowboys defense is going to be way too much for young Zach Wilson, who, by the way, with the headband, he looks, and this is not the first, I'm not the person that came up with this observation. He looks like, say, a women's tennis player back on the back like in the 90s. Like, just look it up. Just look it up. With that headband, that's kind of what he reminds me of. All right, we're both going
Wilson
Cowboys.
Taking all the strays, man. Yeah. Zach Wilson taking all the strays.
Commanders, Broncos in Denver.
I didn't pick Jets Cowboys, did I?
Oh, you picked Cowboys. Sorry. Okay. Commanders, Broncos.
I was gonna pick Cowboys. Yeah.
Okay.
Commanders, Broncos.
I'll take
Broncos.
Denver. I'll take Denver
I'm
too.
I'm going Broncos.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay, and then 2 Monday night games. Saints, Panthers in Carolina. I'll take the Saints.
I'll take the Panthers.
Okay. And then your Cleveland Browns. I know they're on the road. Monday night in Pittsburgh.
I think they're just going to give Kenny Pickett away. That defensive line is just disgusting this year. So and with Jim Schwartz and the wide 9 defense, he just I
don't see a lot of points coming in this game.
No, well, that's the thing. You know what's crazy? You guys can steal my... No, I'm not even going to say it. I made a correct score bet on this game. I'm not going to say it, though, because if I say it, it's definitely not going to hit.
Yeah.
So, but I will let you guys know after the game next week.
All right. So you're going Browns.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go... Jeez.
And we still got Sunday night to pick, too.
Yeah. I didn't forget about that. Just to be different, I'll take Steelers. Just to be different.
Why do you have to do this? Why do you have to do this, ROFLO? You know you don't want to take the Steelers.
I know, but all right. I'll take the Browns. Boom. No, you've convinced me. Browns. All right, Sunday Night Football, Dolphins and Patriots. New England is at home, and they are a 2.5-point underdog to the Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa. Let me just say Tua. Tua has had pretty good success against Bill Belichick. Small sample size, but
yeah, I think the Dolphins win that. I don't think the Patriots are good this year. I just don't.
Yeah, I'll go Dolphins. All right, everyone, that's gonna do it. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
And nice little 45-minute one again, boys. We like that. That means the shows are going well.
There we go.
We gotta pick the energy up at the beginning, though, chat. Little energy in the beginning. A little bit more energy in the beginning.
Once again, we'll be back next Sunday, 11 a.m. So if you got some lineup questions, got some lineup decisions you're struggling with, maybe we can help you out. Let's try to crowdsource these tough lineup decisions, and let's all get wins. So, Derek, enjoy your football Sunday. And
you enjoy yours as well. Good luck. Hey, B-Rider, good luck to you and your teams.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm playing you this week in supporter, but if I am, not good luck anymore, okay? So
yeah, good luck to everyone. I hope you make the right decisions, and good luck to all your fantasy teams. And we'll see you again next Sunday. Have a good one, guys.
Have a good one, everybody.